Guys, it's Kara from iStampin.com. Thanks for joining me on my YouTube channel today. I've got this absolutely adorable little 3x3 Halloween card to show you today. And this is featuring a stamp set in our holiday catalog called Merry Café. This is absolutely adorable. If you haven't seen it, then you definitely need to check it out. It's got some great sentiments for all of the holidays that we're going to be celebrating soon. So we've got Halloween, we've got Christmas, we have fall, we even have New Year. And the great thing is that this stamp set also coordinates with the coffee cups framelit dies that you can find in our annual catalog. So I made this little 3x3 card and I did a little bit of embossing, but I want to show you how much fun this card is, and I think anybody would love to receive this. So why don't we get started? To create your 3x3 card, what you will need to do is to cut a piece of Whisper White cardstock, 6x3, and we're going to score this at 3 inches. So grab your Simply Scored scoring tool and just score this at 3 inches. And so now we have a 3x3 card. And if you look on page 44 of the holiday catalog, you will see that we brought back our little 3x3 envelopes. So here you can see the little envelope that matches this size. So that's wonderful that we have that size again. The next thing you're going to do is cut a piece of Designer Series paper. This is our Spooky Night Designer Series paper collection that you can find in our holiday catalog. And I have cut this down to 3 by 2.5. And as a reminder, if you head on over to my blog, iStampin.com, and look for today's blog post, you will be able to download a PDF instruction sheet that will list all the directions on how to make this card, along with all of the supplies that I used. Okay, so what I did here on the sample card, I put the Designer Series paper just right there in the center of the card where you have the same amount of white showing at the top and the bottom. So we can go ahead and adhere this to the card base. I'm just using snail to do that. And you can use your grid lines to help out, making sure that you've got this even, which is super awesome. Makes it so easy to do that. It looks like I'm a little bit high, but that's okay. All right, the next thing you're going to do is just to grab another piece of Designer Series paper. This is a really pretty graphic image. You can see that it's the witch's hat on the other side. But this is where we're going to be stamping our coffee cup. And to do this, you're going to need Memento Tuxedo black ink. And at the same time, just grab a scrap piece of pumpkin pie cardstock. And this is where we're going to stamp the lid of the coffee cup. So you are going to need this image. We're going to go ahead and put a little spider web on the cup. And then this is what we are going to be heat embossing. But for right now, let's just get those 3 images and we can put those on blocks. So I've got that one. This is the top of the coffee cup. And let me grab my Stampin' Pierce mat. Since these are photopolymer stamps, I want to make sure I get a good impression. And we're going to be using the coordinating framelits to cut these out. Okay. Okay, so let's stamp this for our coffee cup. Okay, and then finally we've got our little spider web. And I'm just going to put that up here in the top right corner. So it's going to look something like that. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do is to grab the framelits that match these 2 images, and let's go ahead and cut these out using your Big Shot die cut machine. So that's what it looks like once we've die cut them out. I just love this collection, and I don't even drink coffee, and I just think this is super cute. All right, so we're going to just go ahead and attach the lid to the cup. So I'm just putting a little bit of snail on the top, and then we're just going to just place it right there. That looks about right. Now let's go ahead and finish the stamping. I just have a scrap piece of basic black cardstock. We're going to need to use our Versamark ink, and we're going to use our white embossing powder similar to the project we made yesterday. And I've got the cinnamon already on my block. It's the Witch's Brew with Screamin' Sugar. That's what we're going to be stamping on here. And when we do our embossing, we want to make sure that we use our embossing buddy to get off any of the natural oils that may have transferred from my fingers onto the cardstock. This just makes sure that we get a really nice impression with our embossing powder, especially being white embossing powder on black cardstock. Okay, then we'll just sprinkle that over this. So that's what it looks like. Okay, so let's grab our heat tool. So when you see the powder turn into a glossy white and you know that the powder's been melted, you don't want to heat it too much after that, or you will have the tendency to burn the powder. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to die cut that out, and we're going to use the coordinating shape where this will fit perfectly on the front of our coffee cup. So you'll just die cut this out using your Big Shot. Okay, so we can bring our coffee cup back in, and it's just going to fit right about there. And you'll know that it fits perfectly when the sides match up and it's not hanging off. I'm just going to put a little bit of snail back side. And this is just such an adorable card to give to friends, especially those who just, you know, just love Halloween. I think they'll just find this card just so cute. But we're going to use our vintage crochet trim. And I'm just going to cut, that looks good. Let's see, I've cut approximately about 9.5 inches. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of make like a little go back and forth, just like so. And if I need to trim some off, I can do that. And I'm just going to attach this with some glue dots. I used snail the first time, and you can actually see it. So let's see here. What's the best way to do this? Going to be kind of doing this as I create the card. Oops, did I get one? Nope. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting some glue dots down. Let's see. If there's an easier way to do this, y'all can point that out in the comments. This vintage crochet trim, you know, it's so delicate that just about any adhesive would show through it, like if you tried to use glue or something like that. Okay, that looks good. Let me grab one more. I'll put it about right there. But if y'all have a better idea, definitely share that. Okay. So it's going to look like that. And then I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. And I want this supported, you know, fairly well since it's a larger die cut. So I'll put 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom and 1 in the middle. And then we're just going to put that right here, covering up the vintage crochet trim. Try to get that in the middle. And there we have it. Just absolutely adorable little Halloween card. So if you love coffee, this will be right up your alley. And if you have any friends who are coffee lovers too, then you got to try this. This Merry Café set is adorable. Then here's the envelope that I made. I actually just put a little bit of the extra designer series paper and made a little liner for the card so that it matches. But again, that was using the Merry Café stamp set. Like I said, that's in the holiday catalog along with our little 3x3 envelopes. And then this coordinates with the coffee cup framelits, which you can find in our annual catalog. All right, guys, well, I hope you loved today's project. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you head on over to my blog, istampin.com, and sign up for my 12 Weeks of Christmas newsletter. So if you go to the very top of, or not the very top, but at the top of my homepage, you'll see sign up for some iStampin Mail. If you put your name and email address in there, then you will be all signed up to start receiving the second week of my 12 Weeks of Christmas that will go out on Wednesday. And also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can see more cute projects that I'm going to be sharing with y'all later this week. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye.